Greenland. And at first I thought it was just something of a joke because Donald Trump is a professional provocateur, and so this is what provocateurs do. They provoke. But he spent so much time on this that there is the worry now that he becomes pot committed, right? Like, this is how he operates. He spends so much time attacking our own allies that eventually he convinces himself that if he doesn't follow through with all of this stuff, that it's somehow an abdication of his word, and it makes him seem weak. And Trump graduated from the let's fix this. And Trump graduated from the Roy Cohn School of Management, and so any capitulation whatsoever eventually makes you feel like you're losing somehow, like it's a sign of weakness. And so there is the possibility that Donald Trump does see what he's doing right now and kind of take it full bore all the way. And like I said before, I thought at first when I had seen this that it was him just being a professional provocateur, but he's kept it on for quite a while. I'm gonna show you what his Truth Social feed looks like. I believe this is today. So this is 6 hours ago. He retruthed a report saying Kevin O'Leary says he will go to Mar-a-Lago to start the narrative about merging Canada with the United States because, quote, we don't want Trudeau negotiating this deal. So I guess not only is this deal, according to Donald Trump, happening, but now Kevin O'Leary is anointing himself the new Prime Minister of Canada, who will have the responsibility of abdicating Canada's sovereignty on the global stage so that it can then merge into the United States and become the 51st state of the United States. And in fact, O'Leary's been on Fox News. I don't know why this is some, I mean, other than, like, look, there are clearly fascistic fever dreams within Trump. Like, he has that whole like strongman mentality, the autocratic mentality. And so this idea that all of a sudden we need to annex sovereign countries is perfectly in line with that. Like, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that the first thing Trump wants to do after winning an election predicated on lowering the cost of eggs is him saying, like, I see your desire to lower the cost of eggs, but I raise you. How about we invade and annex our closest neighbor to the north as part of this country? And so look, it's not the most surprising thing in the world that he would then, like, defer to this. But O'Leary has been on Fox News. Here's a little bit of what he's saying with regard to this issue.
Born in Toronto or in Calgary and Montreal wants to keep that, but combining our countries together with a common currency, a viable passporting system after you're approved, as they have in EU, we'd be the most powerful nation on earth. What do the Canadians got? Unlimited water, unlimited power, unlimited paper, unlimited reserves of every kind. There's only 40 million of them, side of California. And they don't want to squabble. They want to trade north, south, east, west.
Real quick, can you guys let me know if the audio is as bad as it sounds to me, to the rest of you? Can you all hear that audio? You just let me know in the chat real quick my audio from my headphone is unlistenable. Let me try a different video.
We're the richest nation on earth by every single measure.
Tell me if that audio is okay, because mine sounds completely incomprehensible. I get that if it's in one ear, but is it completely incomprehensible, or is that just my headphones? Aside from it being one ear, is the audio understandable? Is it comprehensible? It's understandable. Okay. All right. If it's understandable, okay, then let's keep listening.
So the ideas are simple: common currency, common defense of the North against the Chinese. I'm not a fan of the Chinese government. Everybody knows that, and I worry about that, and everybody should, and the Russians too. We don't need them messing around up north. we could make that very, very clear to them. And what country on earth would mess with a combined economic entity? You don't have to give up your citizenship. You don't have to give up your sovereignty either way if you're American or Canadian under this idea. But let's get the kernel of economic interest together, figure out what these...
So O'Leary is making the case here, I guess, on behalf of Canada. Like apropos of nothing, O'Leary has anointed himself the new Prime Minister of Canada, making this case. Look, he's making the case for how wealthy the U.S. would be with Canada, with the 51st state. But like, I feel what's missing in all of this. Let's do the lead in here.
Could the American flag be adding another star in 2025? Well, Trump's idea of making Canada great again by turning it into the 51st state is gaining some serious traction, especially from Canadian citizens. 33-year-old Ryan Hemsley told the Free Press that in Canada, quote, "You wake up and survive," he said. "There's no opportunity."
So this is the perfect encapsulation of Fox News. This is what Fox News and the right do perfectly. They'll find random people in Canada, and it will make its way from like Zero Hedge or the Daily Wire or Breitbart, where some random Canadian dude in a country of, how many people are in Canada? 40 million people. Some random dude will say, yeah, I want Trump to usurp my country because I'm a MAGA guy who just happens to live in Canada. And then it filters its way up all the way to Fox News, where Kayleigh McEnany starts off by saying,
"Could the American flag be adding another star in 2025? Well, Trump's idea of making Canada great again by turning it into the 51st state is gaining some serious traction,
especially from Canadian citizens. What she's not saying is that when she says especially from Canadian citizens, that's like 4 of them. And so now on the biggest conservative network on television, forget conservative network, the biggest news network on television, we are humoring this idea that Canada is going to like join the United States without anybody acknowledging the one minor detail that Canada's not for sale. Feels like that might be an important detail of all of this. The country that we're discussing the logistics of merging into the U.S. and combining our two economies, it ain't for sale. Like we're not going to buy Canada because Canada isn't being sold to the U.S. But that doesn't seem to matter. One, it's an embarrassment on the world stage that this is happening in the first place. Two, it makes a mockery of our allies at the hands of the incoming president. And I think that there's actually a lot there to that aspect of it, because we clearly have enemies in this country, right? We have Xi Jinping in China. We have Vladimir Putin in Russia. Erdogan is antithetical to the U.S., created the biggest illiberal democracy in Europe. There's the Bolsonaros of the world, formerly of Brazil, and so there are plenty of these strongmen who are adversaries to the United States. Trump will do nothing to earn the scorn of those people. He wouldn't dare do anything that might invite that he wouldn't dare speak one ill word of these people. But before he even gets into office, all he's doing with his political capital is expending it on basically not just perpetuating fights, but picking fights, starting them where there existed none, with not only random countries in the world, not only our enemies, but our actual allies, our closest neighbor to the north, or Panama, with whom we share a more than 100-year-old alliance, or I don't know what our alliance is with Greenland, but it's certainly not hostile. And yet these are the people who he's opting to use his political capital to mock on the international stage. And so if this doesn't give some indication of what's to come as we move, well, not even forward in Trump's administration, but into Trump's administration, I don't know what will, because this shows the hostility that he's going to treat our own allies with. And it probably foretells a lot about how he's going to deal with NATO, with the rest of our alliances, how he's going to abdicate our responsibility on the world stage when it comes to whether we stay in NATO or not, and defer completely to Vladimir Putin, who, look, his biggest ask in life is to get the U.S.